Chicago, where the fire serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Roc and Big-Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with E-Roc and Big-Z. Yeah. Episode 52 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for the keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your official TCSF t-shirt now.
Go get them.
As always, I'm Big-Z, and I'm here with my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, E-Roc. What up, E?
What's up, Z? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in. If you are a first-timer or a long-timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review and 5 stars on your listening app of choice. And don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans/support. Z, let me tell you a little bit about our friends over at ACSI. With over 50 expert technicians in the Chicagoland area, ACSI offers a one-stop shop for telecom wiring. Whether residential cable installation, fiber to the home, or commercial structured cable wiring. Z, let me tell you the most impressive thing about ACSI. During these hard times, the ACSI crew did their thing during the COVID-19 pandemic, and ACSI was awarded HACIA's 2020 Contractor of the Year award. The best part is that ACSI is growing bigger and better than ever. ACSI is now hiring for field sales, technicians, and project managers. Check out acsi.tech, that's acsi.tech, and click on careers to apply today.
Go get you a job.
Go do it. What's up, Z-Man? How are you? How was your week?
Week was good. The 4th of July weekend.
Yes,
Lots of people sharing their videos of fireworks. Stop doing that. No one is watching that.
Yeah, it's silly. It's like if everyone, imagine if like on National Spaghetti Day, everyone made spaghetti and all of Facebook was just covered with pictures of everyone at home eating spaghetti.
If you ain't bringing me none, I don't care.
It's the same thing, y'all. We get it. We know how this works.
Every single year.
But yeah, I mean, hey.
How about you?
4th of July, fun times, out. We got the pool in the backyard now, so we're out swimming with the kids. Got a little bit of sun, fun in the sun, just hanging out there chilling. So it was a good time. Friends and family came over. So
well, you're Caribbean. You 10 minutes in the sun, you're darker than like the damn jacket you got over here. But I can't do that. I'm light skinned.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You don't tan, you pink?
Yeah, I pink. I burn and then I pink and then it's all gone.
This week, we talk about some all-star selections on both sides of town. We're going to talk about the potential for the Bears move and what it's really going to cost. But first, it's time for veteran TCSF reporter Big-Z and the Big Three with Big-Z.
Thanks, E-Roc. I am Big-Z, and you're not. Now, for today's stories. Oh, yeah. Back in July of 2020. A year ago. Look at that. Yeah, it flies by. During the NBA playoffs in the Orlando bubble, Rachel Nichols was reportedly upset about Taylor getting to cover the NBA finals when Nichols herself was expected to be the one getting the job.
Yeah.
She vented her frustrations in a phone call while confined in her room. So, she was filming everything in her room. The camera was there. It was still rolling while she was on the phone.
This isn't the first time that Maria Taylor had some type of weird run-in with another reporter too.
Really?
You remember Dan McNeil?
No.
Yeah. Dan Mac. Was it Mac Yerker and her? Dan Mac.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was the one that said something about her dressing like a hooker or something like that.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So,
that makes more sense. Okay.
She's been the target before.
Okay. So Rachel Nichols was essentially having a conversation on her phone. The camera was on. Another thing was, if you don't know, that these cameras, especially when they're being a remote location, they're just streaming all the information, all the video, all the sound to the servers.
Right.
It just goes to the servers. All right. So this is what was overheard. I wish Maria Taylor, this is quote, sorry, I want to quote that. I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football. She covers basketball. This is what she said in July of 2020. If you need to give her more things to do because you are feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I know personally from the female side of it, like, go for it. Just find somewhere else. Just find it somewhere else.
Okay.
You're not going to find it from me or taking my thing away.
All right. So here's the thing. Taylor's upset because, it was like, well, she's not taking the slander from Rachel Nichols, as
Right.
she's now refusing to interact with Nichols on the air. The report says that she would host the NBA Countdown, though she would not do any interviews with Nichols. Here's I get both sides of this, okay? Because essentially Rachel Nichols is saying, hey, man.
Don't take my job away.
Well, she's saying, don't take my job away, considering the fact that I'm also a part of the club that's discluded or not included in the good old boys club. So I found my niche. I found my way. So all you're doing is shoehorning her in because either, number one, you think she's better, or number two, this is the only slot that you're giving to people of color or women. You know what I mean? So it could work both ways. Now, Maria Taylor, like I said, being the subject of someone else's ire prior to this situation,
Right.
The first thing that she's going to see is, well, you're taking that as you're doing this against me.
You pull the race card.
It's that, or just, it's being petty. I mean, they both are kind of being petty in this situation.
They both are. Well, the thing is that they feel like there's one slot and there's one alpha female.
Right.
And
well,
who's
but like I said, the thing is that with Rachel Nichols, her fight is that, yes, I finally made my way.
Yes.
I found my niche. And now you're basically, because you're saying you're going to tell me that you couldn't find somewhere else for Maria Taylor to be. I think that's what she's saying. Create more roles for women and people of color. If you want this person to be on air, create a role for her. Take away someone else's job that just was there because they happened to, you know what I mean? Like, look at some of the guys that they got. Kendrick Perkins is an idiot.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
he's on there all the time. So.
Agreed. I cannot stand it.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
All right, let's move on to story number 2. Trevor Bauer, my boy. No longer my boy. Let me just put that out there. No longer my boy. The 30-year-old pitching maverick and reigning National League Cy Young Award winner will not pitch for the Dodgers this weekend or next weekend or for the foreseeable future. This is because he's been charged. He has not been charged, but there's allegations of sexual assault. Allegedly, by a 27-year-old female. The San Diego woman who obtained a temporary restraining order against him. Bauer, through his legal team, has said anything that has happened in the 2 encounters in his Pasadena residence was consensual.
So something happened between them twice on 2 different occasions.
Right.
Okay.
Yet the woman's diagnosis of a head and facial trauma, according to the hospital exam, included a request for a temporary restraining order, goes beyond anything resembling consent.
So, yeah.
Let's break that down.
So, we really, obviously, number one, let's just put out that
It's allegedly.
We really don't know what happened one way or the other. Allegedly is allegedly. Until he's been charged, we don't know what happened.
Right.
2 different occasions. What if you? We don't know what happened the first time. We don't know what happened the second time. We don't know how well they know each other. We don't know any of the circumstances.
We don't.
So it's really hard to comment on this. It's tricky because sometimes the second person or the person to react always is seen as the guilty party. You don't know if she was in there waving around a knife and he punched her because she's waving a knife at
So
him.
essentially,
You know
this
what I
was
mean?
all during a sexual
knows?
encounter.
Who
So
knows?
during the act of sex.
Okay.
That, again, we don't know it's consensual because we weren't there.
Yeah, she didn't like it. She got up. She tried to.
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is with the MLB, it's they have a bad track record.
Yes.
When it comes to these things.
Well, they have a bad track record when it comes to domestic abuse.
Well, yeah.
But there's not there's not a ton of sexual abuse, if I can recall. A lot of times, like I said, a lot of the allegations that you do hear about, especially MLB players, is usually
Domestic abuse.
domestic.
Yeah.
And it's.
So MLB put the player, Mr. Trevor Bauer, on administrative leave for the next 7 days.
Okay.
Until something happens. I mean, I don't know what's the procedure on that. I mean, he hasn't been charged. It's just an allegation. So how do you handle that as an employer?
I mean, it's MLB is at some point going to have to try to get away from this, so they're going to just let him sit, I guess. Because the thing is that the funny thing is, this might end up benefiting the Dodgers in the long run, because if he ends up, let's say he has some nagging injury that everyone's hurt.
Oh, wait, his spin rate's down.
You know what I mean? So what if what if this is just something and it ends up being whatever it is? He comes back in time for the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like,
It's happened before with the Dodgers. All right. On a positive note with the Dodgers, my new boy, Joe Kelly, or as he's known as to us, Jose Kelly. Why do you ask? Joe Kelly met a mariachi. His name is Grover Castillo.
It's a sign, your old pal Super Grover.
So the mariachi was playing prior to the game, kind of like the festivities before a game. Obviously, LA is very has a huge Mexican community, so they were playing mariachi beforehand. And the mariachi guy, Grover, goes up to Joe Kelly while he's warming up, on the side by first base, and he's like, "Hey, Joe, can I get your autograph?" He's like, "No." It's like, "I'll trade you jerseys though," and he's wearing his warm up.
Yeah.
So the mariachi guy's like, "Are you for real?" He's like, "Yeah, for real." He's like, "Meet me in the bullpen." So the guy goes to the bullpen, and Joe Kelly literally grabs one of his jerseys and switches with him, and the guy gives him his mariachi jacket.
That's cool.
Now, it doesn't end there.
So
the Dodgers were in Washington to get, do the inaugural every year kind of thing with the, they won a championship, go meet the president, all that stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
Mr. Jose Kelly wore the mariachi jacket to the picture with the president, and then took a picture with the Abraham Lincoln picture behind him. So he made it memorable for the mariachi guy, and the dude is like super grateful. And this is just a great story.
That is
This
cool.
is how you interact with your fans.
Absolutely.
So, story number 3 now. All right, this one's a rough one. So put on your seatbelt, ladies and gentlemen. The Columbus Blue Jackets announced that the goaltender Martis, I practice this so much. Clevenakis? No.
Nope. We just
No.
Hey, I'm not gonna butcher it.
No, it's Clevenakis.
Yes.
All right. Martis Clevenakis passed away Sunday night in a tragic accident after suffering what apparently looks like a head injury in the fall, but what it looks like he had a firework go off and hit him in the chest.
So essentially
it's a mortar, mortar style firework.
Yeah, he was in a hot tub
with a bunch of people.
He tried to get away. It was an errant mortar. He tried to get away. Basically, it hit him in the chest and exploded. And that was, that was one of those. I've heard of people blowing off their fingers and things like that. I had a buddy of mine who actually did that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, you get hit in the chest. Obviously, you're going to hit another body part on the way down. A combination of those things is not a good thing. He was 24, way too young. Way too young.
Terrible.
All right, so rest in peace.
All right, y'all. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Roc and Big-Z.
Yeah.
This is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Yo, E, what's going on with the Bears?
The Bears. We're looking more into the possibility of the Bears moving from Chicago's lakefront over to Arlington Park, but they would have to break that lease. And what we found out, that the Bears' financial penalty for leaving Soldier Field, which they're leasing all the way up until 2033, it would start at $84 million in 2026.
Ouch.
According to the Chicago Tribune. 2026 is considered the first year a stadium in Arlington Heights could be ready for the Bears, the Tribune reported, citing the process of acquiring the site and then designing and constructing a stadium. So basically, it would happen right on time.
Right on time?
Yeah, so
it looks like it tears down. It looks like it tears down. So after
every
every year, it goes down a little bit more and more. So I mean, this depends how
But
fast they can build it.
First of all, I don't care about it tearing down. The fact of the matter is that right now, if they were to acquire it, that means that they could acquire it, plan it, have it constructed right in time for the Bears to be able to get out of that lease for $84 million, which is nothing in the NFL. Right on time.
But not for the NFL.
Yeah.
Not for the NFL.
You know what I mean?
So let me propose something to you. And this came from a fan.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I have to bring it up. It came from a fan. They reached out.
All right.
What if the city said, "Hey, all right, Soldier Field is garbage. We know it's a bad playing surface. We know you don't own it. But what if this? What if we knock down old McCormick Place? The black building.
Okay.
The one it's on the lakefront. And you knock that down, and you have all that land, which is a parking lot and that huge McCormick Place situation. If the city said, "Hey, we'll cut you some breaks, we'll pitch in a little bit, but you got to buy this land over so many years and whatever, but we want you to stay in Chicago." What do you say?
So the idea of them staying within city limits is always going to be interesting to me. I'm always going to want them to be within city limits. Now, I think one of the main components that would block that is the fact that I think their goal is to be partnered with a casino. And they're not going to be able to do that in downtown Chicago.
Not at all.
They can do that in Arlington Heights.
They can do whatever they
and
want.
That's big money right there.
Yeah.
Big money.
So if you were the owner, if you were, a McCaskey, and you had the deciding vote.
I'm going to tell you what. If I'm a McCaskey and I can, stir the sausage a little bit here, I'm going out to Arlington Heights because I know I'm going to get a casino there. I know I'm going to be able to do it my way. And I know for a fact that the Chicago Bears have been playing at the same stadium forever. And all this time, you were never really interested in we'll do this, we'll do that. Okay. I've never heard anything about them making way for a new stadium, and the city is not doing that now. The city is saying, "Hey, you play the Chicago Parks District Park, and we let you put your little swirly hat on there, whatever the hell that is, the spaceship." You know what I mean? Like the Bears just happen to play at a public park, essentially.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know what I mean? Like you walk up to the stadium at any time, just like walking down the street, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go over to Soldier Field," and just walk right up to it. It's like when we were at Lane, you could walk right up to the stadium, like it's nothing off the street.
It's exactly what that is.
You know what I mean? So like the Bears be like, "Screw you, man!" Like you had all this time to be like, "Hey, I really, the fans in Chicago bleed blue and orange. We're gonna do whatever we can to make you a state-of-the-art stadium or whatever it was." I mean, go over there, get your casino, and get your money.
So this is awesome. Thank you, Jay, for calling me last night, and there you go. That's what my co-host thinks. Yeah. So when I broke it down to him, hey, there it is. Go ahead. It's time. Oh yeah. Duff man.
Salute.
So what I broke down was I don't think there's enough land there to build the type of stadium that they're looking to build.
Right.
They're looking to build a dome stadium so that way you can have revenue as much as possible. Obviously, you can't have it 365 days a year, but if you can have it 200 days out of the year where you're making money rather than 8 times a week, excluding the preseason because most of the games, those tickets are free, you're looking to benefit the most. Obviously, you're going to build a hotel.
Yeah.
You're going to have a casino with a book room in there.
And that's the other thing, too, is that if you build in a space downtown, okay, let's say you do that. Well, do you really think that the city is going to allow you to build some giant-ass hotel with all the hotels that are downtown?
No.
You could do that in Arlington Heights. And you can build a big-ass hotel for all the people.
Own it.
Yeah, and it's all yours.
It's all money for you.
It's all for you, baby.
Now, this is what's going to happen is that people are going to lose their seats, their quote-unquote license and all this seats. What they're going to do is they build this big old stadium, and it's going to be all the bells and whistles. But guess what? Everyone starts from day one.
Okay.
I know that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And that's going to appeal these fans that had tickets for 30 and 40 years. Guess what? It's time for new blood. Just like a new stadium.
Tough crap. You know what I mean? Like, you look.
The tickets are going to go way up. You know that.
And I get all of that. But as a fan, what would benefit the team the most?
A new stadium.
A new state-of-the-art stadium where you can continuously bring in income throughout every month of the year.
And guess what? You can get free agents without worrying about anything. You can go over the cap.
Yeah.
Take the penalty.
Yeah. Just do it. Do it. Do it. We never, and the thing is
Excuse
that
me.
we never ever thought this was really going to be a thing that we could
No.
actually discuss.
Now
This has all been pipe dreams.
we're in
so far.
we're in Arlington Heights. Do you still have the practice facility in Lake Forest, or do
Yeah.
you make
Yeah.
your complex all around Arlington Heights?
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm with it.
What do you?
No, I mean, like
you
I
move
think-
everything over.
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you?
I agree.
That's what the Bulls did.
And that's
That-
exactly what my point
Yeah,
was.
that's what the Bulls did.
The Berto Center was the dumbest thing to me because I'm like, wait a second. They practice in the middle of the city,
yeah, but
and they
the-
got to drive 40 miles to go practice.
Yeah, it was.
That is the stupidest
I
thing.
think it was kind of hidden away too. I mean, like
It is hidden away.
Yeah, I mean, like it was, I used to work in the complex directly across from it, so we used to go up there all the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, right past, like 5 minutes from Jordan's
Yeah.
house that still can't sell.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they rehabbed the Berto Center, they're like, no, let's just make the Advocate Center right next to the stadium,
Right.
which just makes sense.
Well, I mean, it was the first time that they did something that state of the art. I mean, you know, the Bertos, that was Jordan's practice facility too, and more than likely, I mean,
Well,
he was-
Jordan played at Hoops. He was
Right.
downtown playing at Hoops.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he was, but I'm saying like something that you're gonna tell me that he also didn't like because Hoops was more public then. Some Berto said
It was,
just
but
kinda-
his trainer was out of Hoops.
Right.
Yeah, Tim Grover.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Grover.
Another Grover.
All right, man. Speaking of the West Side, what is going on with the Chicago Blackhawks?
So the Blackhawks, this is funny because we've been talking about this about what, a couple months already, 3-4 months already, and our captain, Jonathan Taves, acknowledged that he wasn't too vocal about things that went throughout the year,
Right.
and we knew that, and we respected it. We're like, you know what, there's just something going on.
Well,
when
I mean,
you're ready to tell us, you tell us.
It's a serious health issue that we
Exactly.
knew something was going on, but we weren't sure what. So it's hard to speculate. In
Right.
a
So
situation like that.
he quoted, I just think there's a lot of things that just piled up where
Yeah.
my body just my body fell apart. What they're calling it is chronic immune response system. Syndrome. Sorry, where he couldn't quite recover. My immune system was reacting to everything I did and any kind of stress, anything that would go through of the day. Just there,
okay.
yeah. So anything that he did that elevated his stress,
Right.
It just, he went through that whole thing. So his
It-
body couldn't heal.
Yeah, it almost sounded like any stress that he had whatsoever just kind of caused
Right.
his body to shut down.
So essentially, he was saying that it took some time, and that was a frustrating part. I
Right.
get that. As an athlete, you want to get back onto the field, the ice, the pitch, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Not knowing when and how things are going to go over the hump. But thankfully, I have a great support team of people, and they help me through it and learn about the stress I put on my body during the years.
I think realistically, hearing this is best case scenario for not only us but also him and his family, because the first thing that I think about is Brian Bickle and what he went through and,
Right.
and what the way that people reacted to the way he was playing, and when you finally found out what was really going on with him, you see, oh, okay, well, now it's explained. So
Well, now you feel like an a-hole for
Yeah.
criticizing a player.
Hey.
Oh, toughen it up. Rub some dirt on it. No, man. No, that doesn't work anymore, man.
rub some shaved ice on it. but look, it's going to be interesting to see him back out on the ice with this team,
Right.
because they are definitely in a transitional period right now. You got a baby coach, you got a lot of allegations going on within that building with the sexual abuse allegations from their video coach from 2010.
That's where I was going to go with this, because was this planned? Was this announcement planned? Because he's known about this for a while now. He wanted to keep it private.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks are going through a turmoil where
Yeah,
they're going through all this allegations and all this stuff that's going on with the former video coach and all that.
So-
Did the
so-
Blackhawks say, "Hey, we need some positive news"?
So you
Can you say this for us?
So you think that Rocky and Stan went up to Taser and says, "Hey, we need you to speak up and tell the fans about what's going on with you," because
I would not put it past them.
I mean, it's a good strategy. I can't.
You want to spin it in a positive way, right? You want to change the narrative.
Right.
You want to change it because obviously news is by the second at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
So you want to change and make people forget about the bad stuff with the
24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
And because we don't have any updates on that yet, this is the most recent news we have about anything the Blackhawks. So, look, I mean, I think the fact of the matter is that we're over here thinking about Taser and hoping he's okay. And,
Right.
And I'm not even gonna lie, like, until we really started talking about this, the whole thing that we literally just talked about last week about the sexual abuse allegations,
Right.
Furthest thing in the back of my head. You know, and it's like I said, it's just something, and like you were getting to, it's just something to distract you, and that's everything. That's everything.
Oh
in
yeah,
every
we
field.
know that. Oh, we know that
Like,
so much.
It's all just a whole bunch of spin, but yeah, I mean, look, Taser came out and he says, you know, you talk about the things you appreciate and the things you maybe take for granted, but I think the number one thing is that I've had so many people across the hockey world that have shown their support, and I think that's the biggest thing. You realize there's more to life than hockey. But I'm excited to get back to the ice center and play and just go out there and play and have fun. And I think my best is going to come through, and I'm excited to get back out in front of the fans.
Yeah, so we hope he's healthy and he's healthy enough to play. I can guarantee you that his minutes will be limited.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
His practice time will be limited. His playing time will be limited until he can adjust to this new condition.
Well, I think the thing is that people don't realize what kind of stress that your body actually goes through during playing hockey. And
Hockey and
most
soccer are the most
physical sport.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is that with hockey you're playing a sport where you get worked up and you're on the ice constantly and
going forwards and backwards and sideways
saying, like,
and getting hit.
It's not just the physicality. It's I'm literally in a freaking cold, freezing room all the time. You know what I mean? That's a mental
It
thing
is,
too.
yeah.
So, I mean, you got all that. I mean, look at the way that Host's career ended with all the, like, body rashes or whatever it is from all that stuff. So, I mean, you know, it's a lot of stuff that these guys go through, and they play for, like, 20 years, and it's like a masochist game there. Mm-hmm. All right, man, what's up with the other tenant of the United Center, sir?
Oh, yeah, the Chicago Bulls.
Uh-huh.
So last Thursday, USA Basketball announced a 17-man roster for its 2021 men's select team.
Okay.
Patrick Williams, the Paw, made the cut. I hate the name, but I got to say it's his nickname. He made the cut. So it's possible that Levine and Patrick Williams may play on the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have, you know, the Olympics coming up in Tokyo. And, you know, it's good to have the Bulls.
It's good to see some of the Bulls represented. You see, basically, so the men's select team is essentially the practice squad for the NBA national team. So basically, you got Levine, who we hope is going to get minutes. Pat Williams, we'll see what happens here. You know what I mean? But again, I'm more interested in seeing some of the wherever the hell Luka is playing for and kind of, you know what I mean?
Latvia. There you go.
Whatever, one of those guys.
Yeah.
But hey, so when we're talking about some international players, the crazy thing is that we got two teams in the NBA Finals that haven't been there. I think the Suns haven't been there since
the Jordan era.
Since Barkley, and then the Bucks haven't been there since 1975.
Didn't they have Will Chamberlain at that point?
Dude, I'm pretty sure they had like Abe Lincoln on that team or something. That's how long ago this was. Anyway, yeah, like I said, the Suns finally, after all this time, they finally have their opponent for the NBA Finals. They're going to face the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was missing from the last couple games for the ECF against Atlanta with that super gross leg injury where he hyperextended his knee and went backwards, and that was gross.
I played that in slow-mo, and it was disgusting.
Why slow-mo?
Because I teach anatomy, that's why.
But Atlanta point guard Trae Young and his weird hair came out to play, and despite his ankle injury, but you could really tell he really did not have any lift on his shot, on his jump, anything like that. So I mean,
no, a lot of these two teams were just demolished with injuries, especially to their main players. You got Giannis. Let's go with Giannis. Yeah, let me not try that one. Giannis, out for 2 games, and they still won those 2 games.
Well, so they were tied 2-2, and Giannis went out, and the Bucks went up there.
Middleton went off. Stepped up.
Middleton went off, and see, the thing is that I never paid attention to Chris Middleton, but he kind of looks like if you took Ray Allen and Michael Redd and just mashed them up into one dude, where he always looks like he's just about to cry about something.
Yeah,
but then he drops 48 on you, and you're like, wait a minute, wait, you?
Well, that's the NBA. They're all criers.
No, I mean physically, like it's weird. It's weird. He has one of them faces, man. So I mean, like it's interesting to see these teams get to go to the finals. My fear is that it's going to be one of these real low-rated finals because you don't have LeBron.
Yep.
So you're not going to get the casual audience. But you got Chris Paul finally after, 13 or 16 years or whatever it is, finally making it into the finals and making it into the finals by bringing up a bottom feeder, not waiting to try to combine to a big three, which he's been doing his whole career, trying to hop here. Okay, we worked a little bit. It didn't work out all the way. Okay, go to the Clips. He's been on the Clips. He's been on the Rockets. He went to the Oklahoma City and now went to the playoffs. Now he's over there in Phoenix. He takes DeAndre Ayton and Booker and makes them into superstars. Ayton, I mean, like, I felt like for years of watching Ayton just like sit there and never really reach his potential. And I think Chris Paul was the one that went up there, showed him how to be a professional, and now they're in the NBA Finals.
Agreed. A little nugget. Larry Fitzgerald is part owner of the Phoenix Suns.
He is.
And Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Two Belts, State Farm.
Oh,
It has a little ownership in the Milwaukee Bucks.
no way.
So they might get a ring. Wow.
Oh, hell no. Whatever. I don't know, man. Look, I think it's going to be an exciting finals for basketball fans, for fans of anyone except LeBron, because, like I said, you're going to have
Shout out, Mike
the casual fans are not going to watch anymore. But yeah, I mean,
It should be a close series.
And yeah, it would have been interesting to see Chris Paul, like the one of the best, or if not the best point guard for a long time, aside from Steph. Versus
Trae Young, the young buck,
the new version of, because Chris Paul is more of a traditional style point guard versus Steph Curry, who is a scoring point guard or a scoring guard. So I mean, it's a little bit different, but I will promise you guys, check out Mike Logic and Ideal the All-Net podcast. They are breaking down numbers to a T. If you like NBA, you got to check out the All-Net podcast every other Monday. Check them out for the NBA analysis.
That's right. All right, guys, we'll be right back with 3 Up and 3 Down after a word from our sponsors.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Roc and Big-Z.
Yeah.
Time to touch bases with our baseball teams. This is 3 Up and 3 Down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yo, E, what's going on with your Cubs, man? What is going on?
Go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
Not anything good. Well, first of all, let's talk about some of the signings they just made in the last week. They optioned Tommy Nance down to Iowa.
Who?
Tommy Nance from their bullpen. Yeah.
Who?
Cubs fans know who he is. He's a bullpen guy.
I think his mom knows him.
Stop it. These are bullpen guys. Tommy Nance, Cole Stewart over to Iowa. And they did sign left-handed pitcher Tony Cingrani, who formerly was with the Reds and a few other teams. Nico Horner is back up with the big team.
That's good news.
Sergio Alcantara back down. They designated a catcher who I've never heard of for assignment, and they signed free agent Robinson Chirinos
From the Yankees.
What is going on? Why do they have so many catchers?
This would be your 7th catcher. 7th backup catcher.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
It's weird. It's almost like the manager is a former catcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, 2 players that we know very well for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Who might not be on the Cubs very much longer. Chris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell are the 2021 MLB All-Stars for the Chicago Cubs.
Very well deserved. Chris Bryant's been playing MVP ball.
Absolutely.
And Craig Kimbrell has straightened whatever issue he had. And the crane is back. The beard is gone. Is it back yet? I haven't watched a Cubs game in a couple weeks.
He's working at it.
He's working on it. But he's been pitching lights out.
Yeah.
And
it's
much
been
deserving.
Absolutely incredible.
Much deserving for those guys to be at the All-Star game.
So now here's the frustrating part of all that.
No. More frustrating Cub news? No.
Yu Darvish, Kyle Schwarber,
Yes, sir.
and Nick Castellanos are among those players that did make the 2021 All-Star team.
Darvish is pitching pretty well. Schwarber had like 16 home runs in the month of June. And I think he might. Did he just go to IL? I think he just got hurt.
Injury, but I mean,
I don't know if he went to the IL, but he had a little small injury. And Castellanos is being Castellanos. And I wish we would have signed him. I wish you would have signed him. I did not want him leaving Chicago.
So now I'm not gonna front like I don't like Jock Peterson because I like what he's done here.
Yeah.
I feel like he is just better. He's essentially
Defensively, but yeah.
He's Kyle Schwarber with a better defense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
so,
yeah.
there's not much difference there. But damn, you Darvish for real. You Darvish, like what are you doing? Like why is he not here? And that's the most confusing and frustrating thing about this current roster. As of right now, the Chicago Cubs are on a 9-game losing streak. And yes, we're recording on Monday. And yes, by Thursday, they could have snapped it. But I can't stop now because I'm just getting absolutely frustrated. And I compare this to old Cubs fan frustration.
Yeah, very much so.
Where they could never, the thing with that is they could just never get over the hump. And that's completely different. Right now, they're currently sitting at 42-42 because they're on a 9-game losing streak, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
What happened? What happened?
So go ahead. Finish it up. Finish it up. Take a breath.
So the frustration of the old Cubs fan frustration that we had was essentially that they'll never do it. They'll never get the pieces in place that they need. They'll never be able to find the guys that they need to get themselves over the hump.
You're outgunned and outmanned.
And they finally did that. Now they're just in the middle. We've seen them be a first place team.
They're treading water. That's all they're doing.
And that's what I don't understand is that what direction is this team going?
Well, the front office told you the direction they were going at the beginning of the year. And I told you, these guys are
But for what purpose? Like, I don't understand why.
because they don't want to pay money because they lost biblical proportions. Okay, put that to the side. They lost biblical proportions. Let's put it to the side.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have about 5 All-Stars on that team, and only 2 of them are producing right now, right? And again, everyone's going through injuries. Everyone is. But I told you a couple weeks ago, if I was a GM and they got at 6 or 10 games under 500 or behind first place, it's time to sell. So the question is, is it time to sell?
I mean, it's frustrating, man. I honestly, right now the Cubs are 8.5 games back out of
Yes,
first.
sir.
And the last 10, they're 1-9 back to 42-42. I just don't know. And the worst part is right now, like, I'm kind of just waiting for Bear season.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So
you know
you're
what I mean?
packing it in. You're packing it in then?
It's not that I'm packing it in. It's like,
As you wear your Cubs hat.
yeah. But I mean, here's the thing. It's like, just like the Bears, even when they're crappy, even when they have a bad record.
Yeah, you still watch.
I'll watch them.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm waiting for bull season. I'm waiting for, you know what I mean?
Blackhawks
I'm
season, yeah.
What happened? I'm waiting for Cubs season to come back. That's what I'm doing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, like, when you get to the point where you're complacent and you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, how mad can I be when this is kind of right exactly what the front office seems like they wanted the whole time?
Well, here's your issue,
This
though.
is their plan come to fruition.
Here's your issue, though. The team set an expectation by winning a championship.
Yeah.
Then they went on a playoff run by getting to the NLCS and being in the playoffs year after year.
Yeah.
They set the precedent. They set the bar.
Yes.
And then this offseason, they trade away and not sign key players.
Well, I mean, Lester, they didn't need to sign Lester.
No,
I mean,
but
even
you-
with Schwarber, you know what I mean? But, like, you're Darvish.
Right. And Schwarber.
Sure. I mean, like I said, Schwarber. You notice, like, he just kind of trailed off the last couple of years. I mean,
He's still a home run hitter.
But you plugged that hole with another streaky home run hitter with better defense. You know what I mean? What's the trade off there?
What if you had both?
But
You could have signed
for
both.
What to do? What you can't play them both at the same time.
How many injuries did you have in the outfield?
I'm just
Exactly.
saying.
You could have
but I
plugged
mean,
and played.
But for the amount of money you're gonna have to pay both those guys.
$16 million.
Yeah. To do
16.
what? Yeah,
Oh, you're paying
one of them's gonna have the
Hayward
bench.
over $16 million.
Yeah, but Hayward's a much better defender. Hayward
But he can't hit.
saves a ton of runs.
You couldn't hit water. Fell out of a boat.
No one on this team can hit. You know what I mean? That's where they're at right now.
I know that.
They just went. They have not come out of that struggle from June. In the beginning of June, the first 2 weeks, they were just like in their own way.
They've
and
lost every
they've
game.
Never come back from it.
They lost every game since the no-hitter.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
I mean, that's what happened. I mean,
And that's what I'm saying is that, like,
you had this great epiphany, like, oh my God, this is a no-hitter, and then it's literally like the roller coaster. You got to the top, and now it's all downhill.
What's happening right now is that they're starting to lose my interest.
Oh boy.
And I don't mean that I'm going to stop being a Cubs fan. I'm just
No.
going to say it's the thing is like, are the Cubs on tonight? Yeah, okay, I'll put the game on. I'll put it on the second TV because I'm watching the NBA Finals or I'm watching a movie or whatever it is.
It's
I'll
secondary,
I'll
right?
go do something else. You know what I mean?
Secondary.
I don't need
unless it's a
volume.
close game. You're like, oh my god, this is a good game.
Right.
So the question to you is, who will they be trading?
I think if they're going to, the two guys I think we're going to hear the most about are probably going to be KB and Kimbrel.
You just took one in the jugular, man.
Yeah, Kimbrel, because number one, I mean, yes, he is on the Chicago Cubs, but he's not like an old school Chicago Cub.
You don't have the emotional attachment.
You know what I mean? Not as much,
No.
nearly as much as KB. And I think that it doesn't matter who they bring over, unless it's like literally like another superstar player. You're never going to get a fair trade value for KB at his best.
No.
The problem is that he's only at his best every couple of years because he does have an injury bug. So, I don't know if he's figured that out or what, but I mean, for him, it's real convenient that he finally got healthy the year he was about to be a free agent.
Anytime they're a free agent, they play well. You know that.
And it's whatever. I mean, it's not just
It's
him playing
motivation.
well, but him being healthy.
I'm glad he's healthy.
You know?
I'm glad he's healthy. Now, the thing is, like, I think Kimbrel has the most trade value right now because he's lights out.
Right.
And, we can use another arm in the bullpen. Just saying. He can be our setup man.
He's
Now, the problem is he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do that.
He would be a setup guy.
But if you're going to a winning team and you're guaranteed going to the playoffs, and you're like, well, if Hendricks pitches 2 days in a row, then obviously Kimbrel's going to close the next day.
I think one of the moves we might see first is someone like Brian Tepera.
Really?
Or Chafin.
Okay.
Yeah, because
or Chafin. Yeah, I can see Chafin leaving.
You know what I mean? These are
Stranger Things.
Think about. Well, it's funny because I saw him on Marquee Network the other day, and they did a side by side with him and Rick Sutcliffe when Sutcliffe was young. And I was like, "Yep, y'all are. That's the same person."
Sutcliffe,
time machine.
You must have missed some child support payments there.
But yeah, I mean, this is like I said. It's frustration central. I'm at the point where, like I said, I'll watch them when they're on. If they get hot again and they actually start making a move, I'll pay more attention. But they're on the back burner of what I'm paying attention to right now.
A lot of teams.
I just get, you know what I mean?
San Diego, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Sox.
Yeah.
They've all gone through these 7, 8, 10 game losing streaks. It's how you bounce back.
Yeah.
But
you have to bounce.
You're on the clock.
Yeah,
you're on the clock.
Because you're running out of time, guys. All right, man. What's going on the South Side?
White Sox, White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way.
On the South Side, my first place White Sox right now. Today's Monday. They're playing the Twins. This is that's right. I have to, of course. Yeah. White Sox news. All right, so the White Sox have serious interest in Rocky shortstop Trevor Story. This is reported by Bob Nightingale, the same Bob Nightingale who reported that the White Sox were interested in Diamondbacks infielder Eduardo Escobar, which that kind of fizzled out. I mean,
where did it go?
Right. What it is, they know that the White Sox are going to be buyers, and they're going to ask for the world because obviously, if you're selling, you ask for the world and then negotiate down. The White Sox are also linked to Pirates second baseman Adam Frazier, but that's going to cost the White Sox a lot more because he's on the contract for a couple years.
Right.
So there's a lot of possible scenarios, but the White Sox do need a second baseman. They need an outfielder. They need another arm. And especially with the offense that's been off and on, this is important to make a move at this point. I know Berger came up and all these players, and they've been filling in, but I still think they need to make a move. What do you think?
I mean, I think every contending team is always going to cherry pick off of these bad teams.
Right.
And I'm surprised.
Rightfully so.
And I'm surprised that we haven't heard more about Escobar moving, because I think a lot of people were just saw that as the most logical thing that could happen, and most people, I mean, probably us included, assumed that this was a done deal.
It was literally a done deal. That's what Bob Nightingale reported. And then the next day after we set the podcast out, they're like, "Oh no,
right?
They want this, that, and this," and it just fills it out. So there's conversation still going on, but there's a lot more buyers involved. That's a problem.
I think the biggest thing that the White Sox should really look at, aside from second base, is another bullpen arm. I think
Yes,
that's
sir.
where they're really lacking,
Right.
and that's where they could make a deal with the Cubs for a guy like Chafin.
Right,
or
and
Tepera.
we can give you a prospect that's going to help you out within the next 2 years.
Right.
The problem is that your guy makes a little bit of money, so your Cubs are going to have to pay some of that salary.
I mean, that's true, but if they're able to start stacking up, because again, Chafin does have a little bit of emotional connection because of what he did with the fans and finding the scooter
Yep,
and whatever
yeah.
it is. But I mean, the thing is that realistically, a lot of players that come inside Wrigley Field, they're like, okay, now this feels like home.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the beast. So, if he were to slide over to the White Sox, he's already welcomed by Chicago fans.
Yeah, and it's not the first player to move from one ballpark to the other.
Right.
Yeah. All right. The White Sox also have some All-Stars, but we have 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's rightfully so. We have Liam Hendricks,
Okay.
the Aussie, and we have Carlos Rodon and Lance Lynn.
Yeah,
You want to talk about the best comeback story of the year? Rodon will win a comeback player of the year, hands down.
He absolutely deserves it. This is his first All-Star appearance. Hendricks and Lance Lynn are on their second one now.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, absolutely. Rodon, like the
guy that castaway. The castaway.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, you got to work for your job that you just had,
Right.
and then he's pitching like an ace.
So was that his motivation, or is he just finally healthy? Like I said,
I think it's both. I think it's both, that he's actually healthy and the motivation of, you really wanted to give my job away to oh boy Lopez? Really? Lopez? And he's been killing it. He's literally been our ace. Lance Lynn at a strong number 2. But Rodon's getting like 10 strikeouts a game.
Yeah, I mean, he's on fire right now, and he absolutely deserves to be in the All-Star game. Now, a lot of times what happens is when these guys make their first All-Star game, I don't know if it's because they're too hyped, a little bit of extra travel, whatever it is, but he needs to come back strong in the second half too. You can't just have a great first half and make the All-Star game, complete the job, finish the job.
Well, he's not going to start. I mean, these guys will get like an inning or a
I
third of an
know,
inning in.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
don't
I know what
do
you mean.
something silly out there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, lastly, I want to acknowledge the amazing job that Rick Hahn and his staff have done with the White Sox team. It's shown up this year on the field. The White Sox are playing with 3 or less starters from opening day.
Wow.
This team has been cursed with the injury bug and more this week with Jake Lamb, Evan Marshall, Bummer, and Moncada, who's actually back in the lineup today, but he had an abrasion on his hand sliding into third. I don't know why, because he can't slide right. But he was gone.
4 injuries?
Yeah, 4 injuries this week.
Man, that is a bummer.
All right. All the talent that has been in the minors and waiting for a break is now up at the show. That was a dad joke, ladies and gentlemen. Galvin Sheets in his first 4 games with 6 for 15 with 2 home runs and 2 doubles. Jake Berger, oh yeah. A movie-like comeback story with the third baseman Moncada out with the hand injury was called up. He's the number 11 prospect from the system back in 2017.
Okay.
So he made his major league debut that same night when he was called up, and he went 2 for 4 with a double in the 7th inning he made his first major league hit. He came up to bat again at the top of the ninth and slapped a single into right field. He's been playing third base.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because this is a guy that was highly touted. He was drafted 11th overall in 2017. And
Tore his Achilles twice.
he tore it twice. I mean, like, I remember, I want to say Kobe tore his Achilles, and you just see that thing wrap up in the back of your leg, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a rough one to come back from. And he did it twice, and he went through a heel injury. So I mean,
Right.
look, good. Congrats to Burger, Fries, and the rest of the McDonald's crew.
Well, at least we didn't mention Eaton and Mendick, but let's not go there.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
Let's take a pause for the cause and hear a word from our sponsors.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you will be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Roc and Big-Z.
Yeah.
It's that time again, brother.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know what time it is.
Oh, boy.
It's time for Stirring the Pot.
Oh, man.
All right, brother. Sticking with the summer theme.
Yeah, baby.
We just talked about this a little bit off air that you hate going to Great America.
Yeah. Not my thing.
Yeah, but at the end of Great America, after you've been riding them roller coasters and you're sore and sweaty and wet, you go for the funnel cake. So, my question to you is a funnel cake yay or nay?
You talking about the fried dough with the powdered sugar on top,
That is correct, sir.
and then like when you eat it, it starts to melt,
Yes, sir.
and then it's delicious. That's the thing you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Man, of course I want some damn funnel cake. Look at me, you know I want some damn funnel cake. What's wrong with you, man? How you gonna start talking about funnel cake and tell me like, do you like that? You know I like it, man. What's wrong with you, bro?
Hey, there's nothing like fried dough, man.
No,
there is
nothing
nothing
at
like
all,
fried
at
dough.
all.
And then you add sugar to it. Come on.
That's when like someone comes up to me in the morning and be like, hey, happy Friday. Would you like a donut?
Yeah.
Like, you know I want a damn donut, man. Why you even ask me if I want a donut? Just come over here and be like, hey, we got donuts. And I'll say, yes, you do. And now I will take one.
Right.
Don't offer it to me because you know I'm just going to say yes. You know the answer to that question.
Now, do you get the sundae on top of the
Nah,
fried?
man,
No?
stop it.
No?
Stop.
That's too much?
No, yeah, it's way you're doing too much.
You're doing too much?
You're doing too much.
It's
like
I
wearing-
enjoy the ice cream on it.
It's like wearing like a
boy.
purple shirt.
Oh, boy.
And then like yellow pants and then
Oh,
like
boy.
a bright green hat. Like that's too much. You're
No,
doing too
that's
much.
that's Mike Logic wearing his Lakers uniform.
Oh no. But so you know the funny thing is that
Yes, sir.
on Netflix there's a show. I think I was talking about it before, but basically it's one of the dudes that was in the commercials about the Popeye chicken sandwich, and it's like the best fried foods in America.
Okay.
And they went to a guy who every single year he would invent a new fried food.
Oh.
And it was essentially the same concept. And they had like this big food truck that they would do at all the festivals, but because everything was shut down last year when they were filming it. So what he did is he basically set up shop in a parking lot somewhere, and he was selling all this stuff. And his newest creation was it was something. It was a fried saltwater taffy, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's just weird. It's a gooey mess. Like he did fried Kool-Aid. You're like, how do you do fried Kool-Aid?
Yeah, how do you do fried Kool-Aid?
Make the dough, sprinkle Kool-Aid in it.
Oh, that's not impressive.
Well, it is because it tastes just like Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Especially when you get that powdered sugar on it, it actually tastes like Kool-Aid according to them. But you know what I mean? Like you can deep fry anything at this point. So
Watch it.
I guess. Hey, Al. Anyway, before we go, what you looking at? What have you been watching that isn't sports, sir?
I really was looking forward to the Tomorrow War on
Okay.
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Chris Pratt, right? Chris Pratt. That's the stud's name.
The stud's name.
He's a stud. Yeah.
Oh, baby.
That's what she said.
Well, he's in Jurassic Park.
Oh,
and
Star-Lord.
There you go. Star-Lord. It was a great. No. Let me backtrack. It was a really good movie. It was very action packed.
Yeah.
It's got a great concept.
Popcorn flick.
Oh, like Gigantor say popcorn flick.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a little bit more than a popcorn flick.
Okay.
Because it's really good about 3/4 in, and then after it gets really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What are you watching?
So one thing that I started watching, but I got to catch up on now, is Lovecraft Country.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
HBO actually just came out and said we will not be moving forward with a second season of
What?
Lovecraft Country.
Why?
They said in a statement to Deadline, "We're grateful for the dedication and artistry of the gifted cast and crew, and to Misha Green, who crafted this groundbreaking series. And to the fans, thank
I
you
am
for
so
joining us
disappointed.
on this journey." I really don't know.
Wow.
From the first report that I read, it had something to do with essentially the writer not having the content or the
That's one of the Key and
show-
Peele guys.
Yeah. Well, I think it was discovered by Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
So that's where she kind of came from, and that's where this whole story came from. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like
That's
I don't
very
know if-
disappointing. That's so. I really enjoyed that show, and it was filmed in Pilsen.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out. I didn't finish watching it because I never finished watching anything.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, they're saying that because the season 1 was based off of a book, which served as a
Yep.
roadmap for the
Right.
series, they didn't actually have the text available to create a second season without the original writer or something like that. I don't know what the hell.
Well,
were
I mean,
trying to
they
do.
made 3 seasons of Game of Thrones without Mr. Martin having anything written.
And maybe that's why they did it this way, because they didn't like to. Look, this is
It
the
leaves.
thing. Now
It's
now-
a cliffhanger.
Let
What
me
the
explain
hell?
something to you. This is the exact reason
Mm-hmm.
why, like, I don't care if I finish watching the first. Did you watch the series? Okay, what am I going to watch the whole first season, and that's the entire series? Like, it's a waste of time.
I get it. Sometimes you want to
At
wait
least-
till the entire series is finished because there's a finale to it.
And,
I
and-
get it
And
now.
here's the thing: movie does that in 2 hours. Done.
Yeah,
done.
beginning, middle, and end. Yes.
So, we're talking about entertainment news, and I have a sad note. Richard Donner, who was the
Donner.
he was the director of Superman, Lethal Weapon, and
Yes,
Goonies.
sir.
He passed away at 91. So, some of the movies of our childhood, some
Yeah.
of the movies of our adulthood.
Nostalgic.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
he passed away at 91.
Wow,
years
that's a long
of
life.
age.
That's
Yeah.
a long life.
Hey,
That's good enough for me.
Not many people make it that far. All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at checkout for 15% off of your entire order. That's TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts right now. And don't forget to check out our new friends at ACSI.Tech and check out their career section to start an exciting new career in the communications industry. Shout out to Mike Logic and Ideal. The new episodes of the AllNet podcast are available every other Monday. Check them out right now for the best analysis of the NBA Finals. And don't forget to check out the Shine Native Radio podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideal, throw MC in words, talk about sports, movies, and all types of ill spit.
Oh boy.
Go check them out right now. Shout out to Ronesh and shout out to Panic for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for all your Momen merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at True Chi Fans on Twitter. That's at True CHI Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and don't forget to reach out to us on our DMs. Give us your Stirring the Pot ideas, your movie ideas, your sports questions, and you can also email us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For Big Z, this is E-Roc. We will see you next week for episode 53. Until then, Be good to each other.
For the love of sports.
Yeah,
I can't speak today.
America. America.
And round. What the is wrong with me today?
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. That's all. I shouldn't have had those artichoke poppers.